Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us today for the AdEspresso February webinar. Today, we're welcoming back Dennis Yu, who's one of our regular webinar experts here. Hi, Dennis.
Hey, Paul, always good to see you.
Hey, thanks. And yeah, Dennis and I have met up a few times when he comes over to London. Dennis is basically known for being a social media expert. He's the CEO and founder of BlitzMetrics, which is an agency with clients including Golden State Warriors. And the mission there is to train young professional students in how to do social media marketing. I think he's spoken at over 700 conferences. He seems to just live on a plane there. And he's known for strategies such as a dollar a day strategy, how to leverage your ad spend for quite a small amount, and for creating 60-second videos, which he covered in his previous webinars. So just before we get going, quick bit of housekeeping. We are recording this session, and so about an hour after it goes live, we'll be sending you an email with the recording there. So you're going to get that recording. And yeah, I think that's the main thing we've got to cover. Oh yes, just before I hand over, the next webinar we're doing is going to be on Google bidding strategies, which we're going to have Chiara, one of the experts from Google themselves there. So keep an eye on adespresso.com/webinar. We'll be putting that webinar up probably tomorrow. You can start registering. So we'll take up more of your time, and over to you, Dennis.
Fantastic, Paul. And I can't wait for us to make some more training together in London next time, maybe in a couple weeks.
Excellent.
You guys are here for the topic of how to build a six-figure Facebook ads agency. And I shudder a little bit at the idea of six-figure, seven-figure, eight-figure, because it implies that we're doing it for the money. So before we begin and go into the tactics of how do you scale an agency beyond just you as a person using people, process, and platform, look at the mechanics of what does it mean to be six figures, meaning $100,000, 100,000 euros. That's $8,300, like 8,333 per month. And another way to look at that is if you use the rule of 2,000, that is $41 an hour, right? If you are making $40 per month. If you're making, let's say, $50 an hour, that's $100,000 a year, right? You multiply by 2,000, 40 hours per week, assuming that's what most of us do, times 50 weeks per year. So there's many ways to get to $100,000, right? So I'm sorry, $50 an hour is $100,000 a year, 8,333 per month. You're gonna have 8 clients that are paying you $1,000 each, which is almost $100,000. You're gonna have one client paying $8,000 a month, 2 clients paying $4,000 a month, one client that is on a rev share where you're able to make profit, and maybe you generate $8,000 of profit a month. It's harder to do. So there's many ways to get that money, but think less about because I see a lot of people say, oh, this is the way you can make $1 million is you just have to generate $83,000 a month. So if you just had 83 clients, each paying you $1,000, or you're able to sell 160 courses at $500 a month each, right? There's so many different ways to try to jack up that number. But instead of going for that, I want to show you how you can do it once. And when you do it once, you can multiply that if that thing that you're multiplying is what we call a lighthouse. Right? A lighthouse is your shining example. And your shining example has to have all the different components that will allow you to be able to multiply it. And here in this guide, which you will see later, and Paul is going to post this in the AdEspresso University, all the different documents that we're using here, don't try to write everything down. Just listen to me in terms of what we're going through, right? All these different items. Oh, look, there's me and Aaron Rumbaugh, where he's a foot taller than me. We're wearing our AdEspresso shirts. Massimo and gave us these shirts when we were in San Francisco before he moved. We're by the Caltrain station, if you guys know where that is in San Francisco. I want you guys to think about what are the components necessary to scale a business, scale your agency, if you have this one lighthouse. Your one shiny example, so it could be us for the Warriors, and what have we done for the Warriors, or for Ashley Home Store, or for our friend Dr. Tyler Coles, who's an orthodontist, so we can multiply that out to 100 more or to 1,000 more. If you have that one shining lighthouse, this is the exact opposite of everyone else who's teaching how do you run an agency or be a social media star. I like to focus on one repeatable success. You can make a lead magnet around that. You can qualify other people that fit that lighthouse, which is another way of saying niche. And you qualify people through what we call the strategy assessment. So download our forms on how to do that. You can use it as a Google Doc. You can use it in Infusionsoft. We have all of our campaigns built in Infusionsoft. So you can have those there. Turn it into a course on how you do it. If you have a repeatable process, a recipe, a checklist that you follow. Turn it into consulting, where you do spot consulting, which is what we call a power hour. It's $1,500 to talk to me for 1 hour. You might charge $500. You might charge $2,000. You might charge $100. Whatever you charge, right? That's for your time as opposed to a course. And then you have your repeatable package. And this is where you can do your math and say, well, if I'm charging $5,000 for a package to make $100,000 in a year, I need to sell 20 packages. So I need to sell 1.5 per month. There's many ways to do that. And then you have your partners, who are people that can execute that same package over and over and over again because they have gone through your course, because they have done it many times, not just because you just said that they're a partner, but they have actually earned it. It could be like the digital marketer certified partner program. So we're a certified partner at DMCP, and we can implement the different digital marketer processes, right? And that's another way to scale. So then maybe you're only doing 3 or 4 of these packages, 3 or 4 Lighthouse clients, and then you have hundreds of client implementations under your name, kind of like a franchise model, but you're not an MLM, and they're able to execute. My friend Bruce Clay, who arguably invented the term SEO, that was 22 years ago. Do you remember that, Paul? SEO, when people came up with the idea of search engine optimization, I started using it about 18, 20 years ago. So he was like a year or 2 before me. My buddy
Yeah,
Bruce Clay,
sorry, Dennis. Yeah, I do remember that time of original email marketing and search engine marketing about, yeah, as you said, nearly 20 years ago now.
So it's funny because I remember I could pull up a picture of me and Bruce. Bruce and I have hung out at all conferences all around the planet the last 20 years. But I said, dang it, Bruce, how are you doing? He was the first one to reach $10 million a year as an agency doing SEO. I said, how the heck are you doing this? Because every time you and I are hanging out, I see you drinking. I don't see you doing any work. And he told me he created a number of certified partners that are implementing Bruce Clay. So he has Bruce Clay Australia and Bruce Clay Europe and Bruce Clay, these different people that are doing Bruce Clay. And I thought, wow, that is so smart. You badge these other people. And that's how he was able to get his time to be worth $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 for one meeting, because then he could set up other partners to execute that particular process. The beauty of being able to scale this way is not that you're working harder. It's not that you're smarter. It's not that you have some kind of secret. It's that you have a repeatable process that is multiplied through these documents. So the documents on how do you do your strategy assessment, how do you package up your statement of work, how do you package up how you get access, how do you collect your content, how do you report on your results, how do you use AdEspresso or Hootsuite to be able to make the mundane work go faster, how do you delegate that out to VAs, how do you do various things, right? How do you charge? Like, all of those things are basically friction that agency owners have. So think about the friction that you have in your agency. Is it in doing one-off calls with the potential clients where you repeat yourself over and over again about what you do? Is it maybe you have 15 random clients because it's a dog's breakfast? Because after all, it's just me. I got my agency. I'll say yes to anything because I just need the money. I'm trying to pay rent. And one time it's a restaurant. Now it's this startup. Now it's some SaaS company. Now it's a local dentist. And now I've got all these random clients. I'm running Facebook ads for them. This one's a startup. They're doing some e-commerce thing, but man, they could be big if we just can scale it up. Then I can make all this money off of them. And so that's what we see all the time with people that are running small agencies. And by the way, if you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to scale up your business, you're not an agency necessarily. You basically are an agency because you have to use these same processes. The solution to everyone's problem here, or the pain in trying to grow your agency, I'm talking to you if you're listening here, is you need process to remove yourself from those things that you have to do over and over and over again. If you and I are honest about where we are spending time, there are ridiculous things that we do over and over again that are wasteful, that we could just record and put on a landing page or put inside our Infusionsoft or HubSpot and not have to keep repeating it, or turn it into a package so we don't have to custom negotiate every single time what we're going to do. We say, oh, here it is. This is the way this is one particular package. This is what we determine is right for you. And this is how we're going to do it over and over again. Here's my buddy Gavin Bell. We got to hang out with him. I remember you, me, Paul, Gavin.
Yeah, Gavin's great. Yeah.
Yeah, and he had the same issue that most of us here. I just looked at the attendee list and some of the folks that are here. A lot of you guys are working hard. You're pretty good at Facebook ads. We're not going to talk about how to actually tune things in Facebook ads, right? And all the different features. Those things change all the time. What we're talking about today will still be valid in 5 years from now, right? As long as Facebook's still around. Actually, it'll be valid for anyone who's an agency. Gavin, 3 years ago, he was a struggling Facebook ads guy, arguably the best Facebook ads expert in Scotland from a technical standpoint, but he didn't have a business. And he was losing so much time, and he was completely broke. I think he admits that too in some of the videos we've made together, because he was just talking to all these random people, and he was trying to be a local Facebook ads expert. So don't be the London Facebook ads expert. Don't be the Orange County Facebook ads expert. It gives you no vertical, lighthouse-driven expertise. Do it for pro sports teams. Do it for a particular category that is repeatable. Local is not a repeatable category, right? And by actually charging for his time, by actually having this process that we call GCT, collecting goals, content, and targeting, by having a repeatable package that he uses for how he executes his campaigns. So he sets client expectations in advance, so he doesn't have to get on the phone with them every week, so that he doesn't have to negotiate on price because it's already preset. By tripling his price, that's another thing most people won't want to do. Triple your price. They're scared to do it. Do it. It'll change your mind. If you're willing to do that, you don't even need to listen to the rest of this webinar. It will just go for it, right? My buddy Jeff Hunter had the same thing. He's got a ton of VAs in the Philippines, has had his agency, and I said, double your price. He was scared of doing it. He did it. He doubled his revenue, lost a few clients, and they're the ones he wanted to lose anyway. It all goes back to this process. He had 200 clients all doing random different things, right? This is a video that we made when we were actually together in London, which we talk about content checklist, software, same thing. Everything goes back to process. Process is how you eliminate headache. And I think we're on page 12, 13 out of 88 pages here. I won't bore you with all these different components. Just know that if you have a process for how you drive access, for how you qualify clients, for how you report, for how you generate perceived authority, which is how people think that you must be good. So we took some pictures and made some videos with Massimo when we were in Milan, which is fantastic, at the AdEspresso offices. How does that give us authority with AdEspresso? Probably does. Who are the people that you want to have authority with in your vertical? If you're doing it for chiropractors, are you making videos together with your top chiropractors, with your top client who's a chiropractor, whoever that vertical is? You're going to assemble that into something that we call the 3x3 grid. Your why, how, and what. You guys can look this up a bit later. In order for you to grow your business, we're not talking about the actual mechanics of you tuning Facebook ads, but in order for you to do Facebook ads at a larger scale for more people repeatedly, you have to grow your business by bringing the right clients in and having them come through and fit that particular niche. You need to broadcast that signal. One of the things that we've not talked about publicly, but you guys will get to hear here today, because Paul's a friend of ours. You guys have heard about the 3x3, where you're building your authority, your perceived authority. Not that you're getting better at Facebook ads, but you have other people believe that you're better at Facebook ads because there's a picture of you and Mark Zuckerberg. Not that you have to have that. I probably shouldn't show that example anymore. But you and other people that people in your community would respect. We call that inception, right? So it's not the people that you're trying to get to buy, but it's the people that they respect that you're doing interviews with, right? It's the dream inside the dream. When you have that kind of alignment where you're hanging out with them, you're telling stories, they're telling stories, you're interviewing them, they're interviewing you, you're meeting at conferences, not just taking pictures, but actually sharing things that tie back to your topic wheel. You then can align that with your mission. So if you're a one-person agency, and maybe you have some people that you farm out some of the work to, that you call partners or what have you. Maybe you do Facebook ads and someone else does websites and ClickFunnels or something like that. Think about why you are an entrepreneur business owner. And think about you here on the left side. You as a person, you have personal, physical, and professional goals over the short, medium, and long term. There's going to be things down here professionally that are going to go beyond just I want to be able to make this amount of money, or I want to go to San Francisco and get a tour of Facebook's headquarters, or I want to grow my business to $1 million a year, or I want to, like, think further than that into the mission of what you stand for. And most people don't do that because they're so stuck in the day-to-day. Think about the reason why. Like, maybe like us, you're doing it because you're trying to create jobs for young adults, and that's what's really meaningful to you, because you found it was difficult to get a job when you graduated college, and you wish that there were mentors out there that would help you instead of people that are trying to charge you for life coaching and things like that. Maybe it's because you want to do something where you have freedom and spend more time with your family, and there's certain causes that you believe in. Maybe there's certain hobbies that you have. There's things about you personally, like I like chicken wings, and I like to say I'm on a seafood diet. I see food and I eat it. Maybe you like to travel internationally. Maybe, you know, what are those different things? And then how do they translate that? How do you translate that into your company goals, into your company mission? And if you're small, then you are your company, and these two grids actually end up being the same thing. The more people that you have in your company, the more you're able to build multiple lighthouses and multiple personal grids that roll up into the sum of your company brand. So let's go over to, oh, there's my calendar. Let's go over to Facebook, and you guys see this okay? Hey, by the way, let me know in the comments if you can see this okay. What the heck is this? If you want a business booster on Facebook ads targeting and custom audiences? Sure, I'd love to do it. So this is our folks who run Infusionsoft. It's now called Keep. Now they want to do a webinar. So okay, that's cool. This is the risk of doing things live. So when you have actually that guy there, Matt Vosberg, he runs the Infusionsoft partner community, or I'm sorry, the Keep certified partner community. This is the guy who runs it. And he has a public figure page. And so he's posting, you can see I'm admin, right? He's posting about, oh, he actually spoke at the, look at this, how about next week? Yes. This is, I'm giving you a direct example of Inception. So when we are posting or working directly with other people that are lighthouses, where we understand what they stand for, empowering entrepreneurs, right? And we're able to boost some of these posts and share. Oh, look, here's one. Check this out. I couldn't even make this up.
Awesome, amazing person. Susan Sly. If you don't know Susan, you need to check out what she's up to.
This is a page.
I wanted to do this video real quick because we're both good friends with Dennis Yu, and he's brilliant and just an amazing individual. And I wanted to just kind of share something from recent experience with Dennis Yu.
See, we're chatting right now.
The foundation is that gratitude and generosity are the foundation of all success.
Can't even make this up in the webinar.
If you haven't gotten that already, that might have something to do with why you're struggling. But I wanted to point something out. You know, Dennis Yu, Susan, these folks get it. Generosity, culture, really caring.
That's pretty good, right? He's saying some good things. So I'm not going to work on the, I want to tag team with, okay. So we're going to do a webinar apparently, just like today. Now check this out. This is on his public figure page. This is not a profile. You guys know this because we're all Facebook ads people. But if you see this in a news feed, Paul or anyone else, can you tell if this is from a public figure page or from a profile? Can you tell if you're scrolling through the news feed? You can't tell. I can't tell. If I can't tell, you can't tell. And check this out. I boosted this thing, and it's gotten a bunch of people that are watching it, 600 people for 10-second views. I can boost this to the Infusionsoft community. I can boost this to any audience. Oh, digital marketer, right? We're speaking at their thing in a couple of weeks. I can change my target to go against anyone that I want, right? I can edit this. I can continue to put more money against it. And this is the ideal kind of ad to grow your business because it is so ninja. No one even realizes, because they see it's Matt Vosberg and he's gone live. Gratitude is the foundation of all success. They don't know that I'm the one behind it. So what I want to do is I'm going to add a little bit more money, and I'm going to extend this to, let's go to the end of March. I just keep adding money to it. It must be at least 145, so it's been running for 130 days. So I'll do 146.01. Why is he doing the 01? Why does that penny matter? Because it tells me that, actually, no, I did this incorrectly, 146.02. Now I'm going to save it. It's because it tells me it's the second iteration of this boost. So several things here I want to unpack. This is something I haven't seen other people do. You should learn this technique. If this is the one thing you get about how do you grow your business, it's this. When other people talk about you, it carries way more authority than you talking about yourself. Can you imagine if I was so pompous off of the Dennis Yu or the BlitzMetrics page, it said, hey, I believe that you should hire us because we're really good and here's some random things, versus you have someone else who's respected. This guy runs the partner community at Infusionsoft. You saw him hit me up just now. I didn't even plan to go here. His thing popped up and I clicked on his thing, right? And I'm boosting his video from his public figure page. And am I doing anything devious or black hat? No, he absolutely knows I'm doing this because I said, hey, Matt, for you to do more things with partners, you should create a public figure page. So there he's got that one, right? And then we have other people. So it could be Heather Dobson. She runs social at GoDaddy. You guys have heard of GoDaddy. And there she is as a person, right? As a profile. And then here she is as a public figure page. And we said, hey, Heather, we should grow your brand on social. Our team is really good. We've got a process. Everything's driven by a process on how we do public figure pages. And we would love to do free PR and boosting and sharing your content. I'd love to get you on stage. So here I had her keynote at the Growth Marketing Conference, making her look good, right? This is in front of 800 people. Fantastic, right? And then she's doing all the stuff that she's normally doing, speaking at conferences, right? And then we are boosting her posts with our money. So if you're Heather at GoDaddy and you see, hey, a Dennis and team are going to help me with my personal brand. They're going to follow the personal branding guidelines. They're going to make me look good. They're going to put their money against it. It's just like having an agency that knows what they're doing, except you don't have to pay them. They're paying you. They're doing all this stuff. Like here, she's speaking at this Stu Kent Summit, teaching young adults and professors how to do digital marketing. How fantastic for her resume. She's winning these different awards for being good at social media and doing things in the community. Here, she's a featured speaker, right? Fantastic. Who doesn't want this? I mean, would you not want this? And then you find out that Dennis's team is willing to do this for free. Well, to do this, see, look at this.
And gratitude. A lot of people seem to think that they're the same thing. And
it's just a 1-minute video.
Is the best word I can use to describe my colleague, my friend, my mentor, my inspiration, Dennis Yu. I am eternally inspired by him. I am consistently appreciative that Dennis...
I didn't write these words. Hey, look, let's boost this again. Oh, look, we had 27,000. Wow, 27,000 10-second views. Do you think that generates revenue for our business? I mean, it generates, people are seeing it, and some of these people will then buy some of our courses. Actually, most of our courses are free, but we have some courses that are $10 or $97, right? Most of the content's free, like you're getting this content, it's free, right? But then if you want the detailed checklist, you might pay a few dollars here or there. Not that we're trying to, do it to make money off of people. It's just something, right? And this thing has been running for 200 days, and it's kicking some serious butt. I think I might want to put some more money. Would you want to put more money on that? I think so. Let's see. I'm not going to add $1,000. This is Facebook trying to. That's a little too aggressive. Let's go. This is performing so well. Let's extend it a few more months. Let's go till June. And let's make it, I know I've extended this a few times. Let's call it 380. I think I've extended it 3 times already, so I'm going to call it 04. So I'm using the $1 a day tactic. If you guys don't know about it, Facebook for $1 a day. I'm taking things that have performed well, because if this thing didn't perform well and I initially put $1 a day for 7 days, I just let it die. It's no big deal. Got hundreds of these things that are going, and people think, wow, this Dennis guy is so big. I'm literally showing you what I'm doing. These other people are saying good things about me. Oh, you know why they're saying good things about me? It's not because I'm paying them. It's because I make tons of videos saying good things about them. And then they reciprocate. Isn't that fantastic? You can do this for just about anybody. Here, I'll show you these other ones. Ed Milet. Blue check mark. That doesn't matter. I have a blue check mark too, right? And here he is. He's saying thank you to these other people. Thank goodness we have this one inside Business Manager. And you can see, just look at some of these posts. Here he is, kindness, saying thank you, not worrying, becoming confident, what it means to be successful, helping out other people, being an entrepreneur. See, look at these things. Difference between winning and losing is 9%. Here's the mindset, right? controlling negative thoughts, self-limiting beliefs. And we have these things that we're boosting, and the ones that we're boosting well, we are putting, they're doing well, put more money on it. It's all about having a couple degrees away. So if you're lost on the concept, let me go back here. You have your personal goals, what you stand for, that builds into your company because you have some reason for giving back, something that matters to you, a reason why you want to be a servant leader, some life experience. It doesn't have to be some super dramatic thing, right? It can be just like you love your family and you want other people to be able to focus on their families and not have to worry about screwing around with Facebook ads, so they can work on the thing that they do for their kind of business. Now, when you have a lot of other people that align with that, think of the kind of power that you have. Think if you have a lighthouse. So if you're the United States Concealed Carry Association and you're spending $8 to $10 million a year on Facebook ads on this Facebook page, and you're driving memberships, because if you've got a gun, at least in the United States, for $300 you can get $1 million of coverage, right? In case something happens, because you're a responsible gun owner, because someone comes to your house and you shoot them, or because someone attacks you with a baseball bat and that's not covered by your homeowner policy. So you have this membership that covers you, right? And we're selling these memberships, and we've been doing this through the page, running Facebook ads in the way that you're supposed to be doing it. And you can see that we're doing our videos. Of course, you guys know 1-minute videos, right? Just like $1 a day. Check this out. So you've got all these different posts you can see just from a few hours ago. Look at this. This is completely organic. If you had to pick one ammo to shoot for the rest of your life, what would you choose? This one, or whatever one, right? Look at all these people that are engaging. Fantastic. Let's see what else we have. Let's start to go to these regular posts. We've got a ton of these square videos. When the Second Amendment was written, every gun was military style. Okay, these people, they like that stuff. I'll be spending Valentine's Day with my true love, my gun. Oh boy. Let's see. Interviewing other people at the SHOT Show in Las Vegas. That was a week ago. Oh, look at this.
911? 911? My name is Heather. I'm at 123 Main Street. I have a home invasion in progress. I'm in the southwest corner of my house. I think 2 people broke in. They want to hurt me. I am armed with a shotgun. Stay out! Stay out! Don't come in!
These are drills, right? It's pretty compelling, isn't it? Look at this. Whew. 1,400 people reached, and of those, 6,800 people became a 10-second view. So the average on Facebook is that a third of people that you reach become a 3-second view, and then a third of those become a 10-second view. So if you're able to get, so on average on Facebook, you're going to get 10% of people that you reach turn into a 10-second view. But this is 50% of people turn into 10-second views. This is absolutely fantastic, right? Super high engaging. So videos like these are what have driven sales for us, which probably for you, if you found posting these videos, especially if they're squared out, they do quite well. But let me show you what goes further based on the strategy I just told you about. So if I go to Tim Schmidt, he is the founder of the United States Concealed Carry Association, and he has a public figure page. And we can take the same content, and then we are sharing this out. Same content, but now it looks like it's coming from Tim Schmidt, who's the founder, right? This is a public figure page, not a profile. And you'll see, look at this. Here, these little mean videos.
Nah, dude, sorry.
Man, you got a nice car, you get gas, you got $20.
Nah, I don't have any cash on me.
Man. Come on, man, I know you got $20.
See? Things like this. And then what if he's got a gun? What if he attacks you? And it looks like it's coming from a profile. These things perform so well, right? It goes back to these personal stories. So you have to tell a personal story with your agency, with yourself as a founder, so you can recruit other people who also have their stories. And then it doesn't look like you're advertising. It looks like you're sharing stories. And that's how you're able to grow your agency, through what we call a topic wheel. Topic wheel where you as an agency, you need to get paid for running Facebook ads. Yes, I understand that. And there's all the things you can say about your packages and how good you are at Facebook ads and PPC and your special sauce and what have you. Great. I never even talk about that, because even though I might be pretty good at that, it's not something that's defensible. It's not something provable. Anybody can say they're good. How is a potential client going to know? They don't. On the outside, you have these personal brands that are your ambassadors, like the ones that I just showed you. Could be the Heather Dobsons or what have you. And you're doing 1-minute stories, 1-minute videos with each of these people about their particular topic. You're interviewing them like you are a journalist. And when they understand that you have expertise here, because you're interviewing them or they're interviewing you or what have you, then they naturally will come sign up for your courses. They naturally will inquire saying, hey, I saw that you guys do a bunch of ad optimization for Billie Jean. Can you guys maybe do that for us? How much do you charge? I don't think I can afford you guys. Oh, really? It's only $1,000. Then you'll come in and do a quick tune and maybe train my team, and you have a process and all. Oh, okay. Wow, you have a course on how you do it, and there's, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's pretty awesome, right? So if you want to grow your agency, you need to grow your topic wheel. The power of your topic wheel determines how far you can expand in terms of being able to multiply one success, which is any kind of client that's a lighthouse. That could be out here to where you're building stories around them, where you're doing PR for them, where you're making them look good, because when you make them look good, they say good things about you. Then you boost those videos from your public figure page, their public figure page, your LinkedIn, your company Facebook page, your Twitter, your Instagram, all these other places, completely with their blessing. You guys follow me on that? I don't see other people doing this. I see, and I'm sure after this webinar, you'll be, next time you're on social media, on your phone, you'll notice, like, yeah, that person's just promoting themselves. All I see is them talking about themselves, about how good they are, about how they have this new course, about how they won an award, about how they are having dinner at a fancy restaurant. Like, all you hear is like people talking about themselves. I challenge you, if you want to grow your agency, figure out how you can get other people to talk about you. Not because you're asking them to, but because you are proactively delighting them, trying to do good things for them, where you focus down to one particular kind of niche. And thus, you're spending more time producing content. Why, how, and what? Stories, right? 3x3. Know, like, trust. Top, middle, bottom of the funnel. Consideration, conversion. All these different ways of saying top, middle, and bottom of the funnel. And I challenge you to produce as many of these 1-minute videos as you can, honoring other people. And this seems counterintuitive, but if you understand the reason people would hire you for Facebook ads is not because they're going to quiz you on how well you know how to use dynamic ads or how well you know the Facebook ads API. They never, that clients never ask those questions. What they do ask is, who are you, and who else are you working with, and how do I know that this is going to work for me? Like, their evaluation is always based on perceived authority, on whether they know, like, and trust you. They don't have the expertise to ask you about how well, like, do you know how to manage frequency when relevant score goes down? They're never going to ask a question like that, right? They're assuming you know how to do that, right? So when you do things like building other people up, and you've got a library of these 1-minute videos, and you don't need a big team to do this kind of stuff.
Person and trust one person in my campaigns, that person would be Logan Young. To talk more about this, let's bring in Logan Young. Logan, the co-founder of BlitzMetrics. Logan, it's good to have you here on the show this hour.
We got Logan, and these guys are arguably the GOATs when it comes to Facebook ads, greatest of all time.
Behind your brand, whether it's SaaS or B2B, or you're trying to sell t-shirts, or you're trying to build your personal brand or get speaking engagements, whatever it is, you have some general mission or some passion. Behind that is some stories. It doesn't matter if you have the lighting or the sound, like, those things are nice, but what really matters is the story.
He has the breadth and range of expertise more than anyone that I've seen. I have met thousands of people that claim that they are experts at Facebook ads, but there's only one person I would trust and turn to first.
Just understanding the way people react, to ads and how to break through that barrier. And there's 3 types of content out there. They all want you to eat the toast, man. I'll keep it short. We do a lot of international speaking. In May, we did 5 continents in 3 weeks.
Okay, you get the idea, right? That's driving people into our topic wheel. They see any kinds of pieces of content like that where we are sharing mission. We are here's a screen share. We're showing how do we, what is this? I don't even know what this is. Let's see.
What's up, everyone? So I've been looking over the TiVo account. Just wanted to share.
Okay, so it's how do you optimize ads? It's boring, right? So when you share these kinds of stories, who you're hanging out with, share your checklists, So we're literally doing what we're telling you to do. Most people are hypocrites and they give you all this advice and they've never even done it themselves. We're literally sharing with you how we run our agency. These are literally the documents that we use in our training. Look, this is Gavin. This is Gavin. Gavin has his little audit, right? You can charge for an audit or power hour. See?
Hey friends, hope you are all well. Coming to you from sunny Scotland. I just want to create this really short video and just show you some of the things that I've set up since our time over in Phoenix, and share with you some results. So one of the things that you'll know Dennis asks you to do before speaking with Dennis or the team, or whenever there's an inquiry, is he'll get you to fill out goals, content, and targeting form. So that's kind of the first thing I set up when I got back was this strategy assessment. I filmed a video for it, which basically talks to people about why they should fill it in. Often some people are kind of like, why would I fill in a form to speak to you? This kind of answers that question. I actually got somebody that booked in a call with me and didn't fill out the form. And when I messaged him to ask him about it, he cancelled the call and said he couldn't be arsed. So someone like that, I've just saved myself 30 minutes, 45 minutes on a call with someone that I wouldn't want to work with anyway. So this is my strategy assessment form. It's all done through Dropform, which I use, but you can use Google Forms or you can use Infusionsoft like Dennis does. But in the back end of Dropform, you can see the different forms that I have here. These are the strategy assessment ones. You can see here the last one was on.
See, then
here with my Facebook advertising blueprint,
he's selling his
download that I advertise
objects.
To people that have visited my website. Straight away got a custom video that I filmed for that.
He's charging way too little, but this was a couple of years ago.
It will take
$97.
A PayPal page. Once they pay on PayPal, it will then take them.
You see, this is when you go from a one-person show to actually having a process. You say no to these people that want to waste your time. You should double your prices. Don't be afraid of losing clients. Those are the people that you don't want, right? Focus on the people that are giving you more money. Build these relationships. Build your team so you can delegate stuff out. If it's just you, you're wasting your time. You need to find people like Fiverr, Fancy Hands, VAs on onlinejobs.ph, people that will do stuff for you for way cheaper so that you can work on things where you're managing relationships at scale, right? And if it's just you like figure out how do you get the stuff off your plate. This is what we do for virtual assistants. They come in at $3 an hour. They go through our training, of course. You don't just hire a VA, not have training, then you're just asking for it. And they learn. They learn how to do Facebook ads, how to make reports, how to build landing pages and ClickFunnels, how to edit videos, how to manage other people, how to produce reports and coordinate as a team lead, and then how to hire other people to do any one of these particular other kinds of roles. We have 6 roles that we use in managing our agency, and there's training associated with every one of these. Video editing, we have a whole course on this. How do you know, all the different tools that we use, operations, which is project management, content specialists, which is repurposing content, doing very lightweight copywriting, design, which are all these guides, all the documents you see here, that's being done by these VAs. Community management, that's also collecting content, boosting, saying thank you. You see the stuff I was just showing you, like one of these boosts is doing well, we put more money against it, and then plumbing, dashboard engineering, Infusionsoft, all the technical tool-driven kinds of pieces. So we have training on all these. You should have this as well. I would argue that if you don't have this, you're not going to be able to scale your agency. So even if you do have the Lighthouse, a professional sports team, a chiropractor, whatever it is where you want to be able to do 100 of the same thing, do you have the people, process, and platform to be able to do that? And certainly AdEspresso is a fantastic way to manage the headache of Facebook ads. What about the other components of your business? What about those other tools? Is there an equivalent AdEspresso that you should be using? Are there process components where you can delegate this stuff out to, say, a VA or a friend of yours that is able to do the project management so that you can get quality time in bringing in new deals and building content and being the figurehead, talking about your why? You should not be spending more than 3 hours a day working in your business. It doesn't mean it's because you're lazy. It's because you need 3 hours a day in learning stuff like this and keeping your knowledge sharp. You need 3 hours a day in training to be able to train up other people, to build processes, to do hiring, to develop other people and mentor them so that they can keep growing, so that they can become partners of yours and keep ascending up the path, right? So that's 9 hours a day. That's a lot of time. Anything past that, and you either don't need sleep or you are hustling and you're very tired and you can't sustain this. The average entrepreneur lasts 2 years. They can't go further than that because physically it's not possible. My buddy, Neil, what's his last name? You remember? Not Neil Stephenson. I forgot his name. Neil Robertson. He sold his last company for $300 million. And he told me these entrepreneurs don't last that long because they just physically can't work 14 hours a day, and they need sleep. They essentially, their health goes to crap and all these other things because they're working 10 hours a day, but then there's no time to learn. There's no time to build other people. There's nothing, no system to delegate these other components out. So it's easy to think like, wow, I need to be working on this campaign and there's the urgency of these different things that we need to do, but resist that urge. Focus on the things that are most powerful. And that way you have a third of your time doing each of these items, right? A third of your time learning, a third of your time doing, a third of your time teaching. And that way, for example, if you learn the structure of a 1-minute video, how do you do that? There's another course around this, as you can see. You guys are probably thinking, my goodness, there's so many. I came here thinking I was going to learn a few things about how do you structure a Facebook ad agency. And now all of a sudden, Dennis has uncovered all these other things that I realized that I didn't know. Well, that's why you need a third of your time to constantly be aware of things that are in your blind spot, right? Like I thought, if you'd asked me 5 years ago, I first started running Facebook ads 12 years ago. Can you believe that, Paul? 12 years ago, I ran Facebook ads. It was 2017. And I thought Facebook ads, because I had run so much on Google and Yahoo ads, because I started that over 20 years ago. I thought, oh, it's the same thing as PPC. You just load up ads, you optimize bids, you use some kind of interface to, load your campaigns. But 5 years ago, I learned, this whole video thing, like, crap. I don't know anything about video. I don't want to get in the video. That's someone else's thing. I'm just going to focus on running ads. Wait a minute. We're in 2019 now. If you want to be successful running Facebook ads, you cannot avoid video. Not only are you using video, you have to be able to create video. You have to know about editing video. You have to look at the stats related to video. You have to learn about boosting posts. You have to learn about personal branding. I don't want to do personal branding. I'm not trying to become Gary Vaynerchuk or some kind of influencer, YouTube celebrity creator person. No, I don't want to either. But I understand I have to be able to tell stories. I've got to understand the structure of a 1-minute video. And these are things that I didn't realize, that I didn't know that I needed to know. Does that make sense? You must know how to do these things. To run a successful Facebook ad agency, you have to be able to create content that says thank you, that looks like something that's not an ad. The big thing is don't create stuff that looks like ads. Scale everything through these different VAs. Learn to turn things into processes. All these processes here, you will be able to get inside the university here. All these things, some of these are linking towards items that we're still working on, but like here's how you do a power hour. Here's a starting point for how you do your packages, right? How much do you charge? Well, you charge on items that are one-off, which are, building your house, and then you charge on maintenance. You always get the one-off items done first. You never jump straight to someone comes in and says, hey, how much do you charge per month? You don't say, oh, it's $2,000 a month or whatever. You don't do that, because you have to get these things in place before. You have to get all the building of your house done before you can maintain the house, right? It's just things like this, right? Get these things in place. And when you do that, you're going to have a successful business. If you want to have an actual agency, meaning it can operate, if you go on vacation for a month, it should continue to be able to operate. If you want an actual business, you have to have people that are running it. You have to have clear packages and processes on how you do it. You have to have all these things, and you might say, oh, but I don't have all these people. I don't have this money. I don't have, the time. I don't have, these different skills. That's okay. Partner with a couple other people that do. Use the process that we are showing you here. Understand what it means to qualify people. I bet you don't have an onboarding process, at least to the folks that we see, right? How do you set up your digital plumbing? How do you set up the strategy assessment form like you saw with Gavin? It could be the Jot form, Infusionsoft, Google Forms. We have all these Google Forms that are made. Do you have a course? Well, I don't have time to build a course. Well, you don't really need to. Just take your Your course is literally take your package of how you set things up and then narrate it for an hour, and then have a VA chop it up and you upload it to Thinkific or whatever, right? And then you sell your packages based on it. It's really your way of doing lead gen, because you're trying to collect an email address. Put your course out there for $97 and then make it free. That way, at least you collect an email address off of it, right? It really is. You see, everything turns back into the process and goes back into things like personal branding. That's how we build our agency. That's exactly how we do it internally. You can see that's literally what's happening here on Facebook through these public figure pages that link to the brand, all based on the topic wheel. You can see that, oh, look, somebody tagged me, Kim Reynolds. She runs the community for Social Media Marketing World. Oh, look. And I'll just say, Kim, you are amazing. And a little heart sign, right? This is literally what I'm doing to grow our agency. And then I'll just say, can't believe it's been 5 years. We've been friends on Facebook, real friends. Can you believe that? Not Facebook friends. Blue check mark helps too. When people see the blue check mark, they think that you must be more important. It doesn't help in other ways too. Like on Instagram, I don't think it really helps you that much. But you see, this is what we're doing. Okay, I think we have a few minutes left. How about some questions, Paul? You guys have questions here or things in the, want to put in the questions of the chat?
That was great, Dennis. So much content there, especially on the agency side, but also personal branding. And you put in a little bit about $1 a day and 60-second video. We're getting the full Dennis Yu there. So yeah, I've got loads of questions here that I can go through in a second. It's filling up my screen. Before I get started, what's the best way for people to get in touch with you if they've got any questions there?
Ah, right here. By the way, don't friend request me on Facebook. I'm at the 5,000. And unless we've met in person or you're a client, which basically means we meet in person at some point, I'm at the 5,000. So don't hit me up there. Hit me up on LinkedIn, right? Hit me up on email, dennis@blitzmetrics.com. I always reply to email. It might take me a few days, but here I am on LinkedIn. Just search for my name. You'll see it's Dennis Yu. Oh, by the way, here's a little bonus. If you're kicking butt on Facebook, if something works well on Facebook, post it to LinkedIn. If something works well on LinkedIn, post it back to Facebook. Absolutely killer. I get 5 times the reach on videos on LinkedIn than I do on Facebook. And that's not even talking about LinkedIn's new live video. So hit me up on LinkedIn. LinkedIn, I think I got 17,000 connections. The limit's 30,000, so I have plenty of room still. Yeah, I have 17,000 connections.
Awesome. So a lot of people are asking about how they can get the PDF document. So I think we said that we're going to put it in the AdEspresso University,
Yes.
probably, but hopefully tomorrow. So that's our private members group there. So you can join up for a free trial of AdEspresso. Just go to adespresso.com, and then with the software, there's a tab in there called University, and you get all our webinars. There's going to be the content here from Dennis. We run a $1,000 experiment every month to find out what actually works on Facebook and Google Ads as well. And there's some free training courses we do, so there's lots of content there, so you can get that. Other question people are asking is, can we get the recording? So that's going to be sent out automatically. Again, it's going back to processes. That'll be done automatically by GoToWebinar about an hour after this finishes. So I think it's some questions here. So one of the questions we've got is, how do you get the blue tick on Facebook?
Oh my goodness, if I had $1 for every time somebody asked me this, 6 things not to ask Dennis Yu. You know what the other things are? Let's see. Yeah, don't ask me for the blue check mark. Don't ask for money, Warriors tickets, picking my brain, or introduction to Mark Zuckerberg. Right? I think it's funny. And the reason why this is funny is that it's, and no offense to whoever's asking it, the blue check, if you have to ask for the blue tick, it's probably not something that's going to help you, right? And because you have, there's 2 ways to do it. One is you can be a big brand and you can spend a lot of money. And number 2 is that you make a request as a media partner, or you get a media partner to make a request for you. Like, look, I have a blue tick on Twitter. This does not help me. It's cool. If anything, having the blue tick causes more people to reach out saying, hey, can you get me one too? And I actually can, but I don't want to tell anybody that, right? It requires that you make a request if you're a media partner with Facebook. So it won't. So I'd go, instead of saying like, what's the process to get the blue tick, I'd say, why do you want a blue tick? Is it because you believe that it creates authority? If I had to choose between having a blue tick or some of the items that are in my personal brand manager where I'm interviewing top entrepreneurs and other people that are, kick butt, I would just rather do that. Or here, I'll give you another example. This is something I forgot to talk about. I wanted to actually spend 20 minutes talking about how we have tracked our results for the Golden State Warriors and how we're able to generate revenue and how we optimize and all these different components, right? But as a way, like if I had to choose between having a blue check mark and being able to show how we are driving revenue as a case study that Facebook has published on their blog, I would take this all day long. I would take the authority from sharing good content that people say, wow, here's how they did it. This is really helpful, over, oh, here's a picture of Mark Zuckerberg and Dennis, or here's a blue check mark. You know what I mean? Like, go for the stuff that's actually helpful instead of the stuff that makes it look like you might be kind of cool.
Awesome. Thanks, Dennis. I bet we get that question asked a lot as well at AdEspresso about the blue tick. So we've got time for just a few more questions there. Just a basic one about just clarifying what's a public figure page as opposed to a personal profile. Maybe if you could give a very quick summary of what the difference is there.
Oh, that's a great question. Okay, so you can see I'm on Facebook. When you're logged into Facebook, you can see this is me, right? This is Dennis logged into Facebook here, here, here. It shows it's me. But this here, now this is Dennis Yu as a user, as someone who logs in as a profile, right? I have friends, I have 5,000 here. If you click on me, oh crap, I'm at the 5,000 limit. You can't even make a friend request. I've got to unfriend one person, so there's still one slot that's open. If you're at 5,000, people can't even make the request. So this is, I have a blue tick here. You can have it on either your profile or your page, but not both. So this is me as a person. But you guys understand that there are business pages, right? So you might have like BlitzMetrics, for example, and that's a business page, right? But you can also create a category of a public figure page, and that is a business page, not this one, but this one. It's a page, and you have pages for soft drinks and pages for brands and pages for software companies and pages for entertainers and pages for, amusement parks. This looks like a profile, but it's actually a page because it's got analytics. I can boost. You can see the top content here. I was a couple days ago hanging out with 50 NFL players, recording videos with them. See, stuff like this. This we're sharing on a page.
Logan Young, co-founder of BlitzMetrics. Logan Young from BlitzMetrics.
BlitzMetrics exists to provide jobs for young adults. We want young adults not to be able to come work for us because they have a degree.
See, now I can share this content and people will think that it's my profile. And anyone who doesn't know me, they will think that this is a user that's sharing it, right? But it's actually a page. And pages and profiles look the same intentionally. We've had meetings with Facebook to talk about this. I cannot boost a post from my profile. But here, off of my page, I've got 100,000 people that have seen this. That's pretty awesome, right? I can't do that unless I'm a celebrity. I'm not going to get that kind of power.
That's great. Thanks, Dennis. And question about how much you would spend on like promoting your own content. So on your own public figure page there, what kind of spend do you put behind it? Because obviously you could spend like $1 or $1 million on Facebook. What do you kind of recommend for somebody getting started?
I start $1 a day for a particular post. Any post that I have, I'm going to spend $7 each. So it's $1 a day for 7 days. And I do it off of a series of 1-minute videos. So maybe I make 5 or 6 1-minute videos, test them, then next week, or maybe when I get the thought, or maybe when I'm going around and I pull out my phone and I'm just really inspired and I hold the phone to my face and selfie style record a 1-minute video. I interview somebody. I just put $1 a day against it. And after doing 30 or 40 of these over a few months, I'm going to start to find what resonates. And you'll see that on my public figure page, and by the way, I'm doing some that are why, how, and what. I'm not selling all the time. In fact, I'm almost never selling. And you'll see here on my public figure page, I think I pinned one that I was in Australia 2 years ago, a year ago, and literally just I was on the beach, and I thought, you know what? I'm so inspired. I feel like even though I've got like sand on me and whatever, I feel inspired to make a 1-minute video, and I did. just right there, and posted it raw, just like it was. No editing, no anything like this. Oh, where is it? I don't know where it is. I don't know where that video went. Or here's one, right? Here's one just a couple days ago, and my friend who runs social at Infusionsoft, she and I had dinner at a diner, and we had an ice cream that had 6 things of ice cream, 6 scoops of ice cream on it. And we thought, you know what, this looks like a topic wheel. So we just made a mess here and thought it'd be funny, and literally just putting a dollar a day against this. And if it works, we put more against it. And now, how much do you spend overall? I'd say no more than 20% of your total revenue. If you're primarily doing Facebook ads as an agency, that's just your marketing cost. Think of it as an advertising cost, but instead of using these ads to try to get people to buy your stuff, you're going to get so much more mileage by sharing your knowledge, by being a human, by having fun. I mean, look at how ridiculous this is. The waitress is probably thinking, who are these people that are making a total mess with all these nuts and ice cream and cracker things everywhere? But I use it to illustrate a concept, and I'm not doing it in the boardroom. I'm not doing it in front of the fake plants or whatever. I'm just doing it wherever I am. I'm not using a lav mic. It's not being professionally recorded. It's just off of an iPhone, just like it is right there as you see. And this is what works because it looks like what a user would post.
That's a great video there. So last couple of questions before we wrap up. I've got Oscar asking if you've got any courses that you do, like an agency course where you go through this in more detail.
We do, and this is the one chance I will use to shill. But if you go to Team Blitz Nation, which I never even went to we've got all these documents here. What is this, like 80 pages? If you go to Team Blitz Nation, we have our membership that has all of our courses, including how we manage the agency, $1 a day, 1-minute video, digital plumbing, content strategy, how to hire VAs, all the stuff that you've seen here. It's at Team Blitz Nation. And I wasn't even going to bring it up, but for those people who want to learn more, where we have a paid side, it's $159 a month. You know what you could do? I think some of our people get mad if I tell you this, but you could literally come here and sign up for 1 month and then just cancel. Just go in, just sign up, just download everything you can get your hands on, and then cancel. But then you might find, once you come in, this is our hope, is that, oh my goodness, there's all these webinars, they're constantly updating things and loading up new things. So I might want to continue for just 1 more month. And then, oh wait, they provide all the support, they have a community, they have weekly webinars. Oh, I'll go 1 more month. And so that's what we hope you'll do. We want you to come in and just try to grab everything you can, and then you get so much value. Like here, when you have stuff like this.
Hey there, Mike Stelzner, founder of Social Media Examiner, saying Dennis Yu is an amazing person. If you are not familiar with the work of Dennis, what is amazing about Dennis is how much he invests in helping others. He truly believes in serving the community first, constantly giving more than he ever asks. And if you ever get a chance to work with or work for Dennis, I strongly advocate.
Anyway, that's enough of that. But you see, that I hope you'll come in and just grab some of these items and ask our people. We have a community. Just ask whatever question, and we're happy to support you on anything. Right? Oh, I got a problem with the client. What should I do? How much should I charge? Right? We'll help you.
That's great. You're getting lots of thanks in the chat here, and also I can't pronounce her name, but she said you've got a lovely accent, so you're getting loads of compliments there. So just one last one to finish up. Luciano is asking what project management software you use to run all your agency processes. At AdEspresso we use Basecamp for our kind of agency management, but I don't know what you use there, Dennis.
We use Basecamp, and we have hundreds of projects inside Basecamp. In fact, this could be another webinar if you guys are interested in how we use Basecamp. I'll show you here how many projects we have. You can see we have hundreds of projects, and we organize them in a certain way. So the top clients we call clients 1, and the ones that are not as good, clients 2, and then clients 3. And then we have internal projects on how we do things like marketing and admin and design. And we could go into any one of these projects, and you can see there's 6 items that we have for every project. We have to-do lists, we have message boards that are public and private, and we have team members that are associated on particular threads on what they're accountable for, what they're consulted on, and who's the team lead, for example, right? And different kinds of analyses that we're working on. And there's a particular way that we organize Basecamp to get the most value out of it. Because if you don't know the difference between, say, these different messages versus how do you manage to-dos, right? A to-do has three things. There's the statement of what has to be done as specifically as possible. There's who is the owner of it, and then there's when it's due. It's those three components. This is how you get stuff done. You can see we're managing, this is a live client. This is how we manage getting stuff done. And this is how you delegate across the team. So you don't have to try to remember what is going on and what's due and when. It's all right here. You don't have to produce status reports because it's all right here. For example, here's all the videos that we're editing. It's all right here. No one has to come ask me what's going on. They can come here and see, how do you train for a real gunfight? This guy Kirk's working on it. I can look at the status of it, right? Here it is, right? I can see, is it done or not? Oh, there's some tweaks, not quite ready. Looks like he's got to make some changes, right? This is how we do project management. We rely upon Basecamp as a lifesaver. There are three kinds of Basecamp. Basecamp Classic, which we've been on for 10 years. Then Basecamp 2, which we were on for a couple of years, and Basecamp 3, which is the latest, which there's pros and cons. Basecamp 3 we're on now because it actually integrates time tracking. We use TimeCamp for our time tracking because we pay people hourly plus bonus. So it automatically ties in with Basecamp. We were waiting for Basecamp 3 to have TimeCamp integration, but we're literally able to see where people are spending time and have reports on it and see what our cost is and so forth for each person. Actually, I don't even track time because I'm on salary, but other people, we can track their time.
That's great, Dennis. Thanks for that. Yeah, the Basecamp is definitely a tool that's really helped us scale at AdEspresso on our agency side. So thanks for sharing so much content there. And yeah, I think there's a lot of people thanking you and saying that they're going to take some time to go through all that content because there's so much there. So thanks for sharing that with us. And thank you for everybody for joining us today. And so we'll send the recording out in about an hour from the webinar finishing now. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, everybody. Hey, Paul.
Hi, Dennis. Just trying to get it to quit. So if you want to log off, and I'll log off as well, and hopefully we can get it. Cool.